Reported number of stray dog bites to the actual number of stray dog bites, there was a 10 ka difference.
So let's first try to understand that why dog bites happen in the first place.
There could be 2-3 major reasons. One is relocations of dogs. Most bites don't happen because of aggression. It happens out of fear.
Our first priority is teaching adults that this is how you have to be a human.
What are your thoughts on sterilization?
Sterilization is the most humane solution.
अगर हम अमिताभ बच्चन जी को ला के 2 बूंद जिंदगी के कर सकते हैं पोलियो ड्रॉप्स के लिए, कोई भी बड़े सेलिब्रिटी को ला के इंडीज के अडॉप्शन को हम क्यों प्रमोट नहीं कर सकते हैं?
Hey everyone, welcome to Tilting Hearts. I'm Dr. Hansika Singh and I'm a veterinarian. Today we have our guest, Mrs. Momita Roy, who is the founder of Mother of Strays, and Mr. Ashish. Mother of Strays is India's first nutritious food brand for stray dogs, and they also have a shelter for over 100 dogs. Today we are going to talk about the better understanding of the concept of coexistence and better implementation of animal welfare. Today let's dive deeper into the truth of animal welfare. So by now we know that the relationship between human species and dogs is very complex. We live in a society where there's a set of people who can do anything for the welfare of dogs, and there's also on the other hand a section of people who hate dogs and they can do anything to not see dogs in their locality. And this conflict usually arises because of dog bites. So let's first try to understand that why dog bites happen in the first place.
Okay. There's this beautiful thing called boundaries, which most of us don't understand. And that creates the most, that creates the majority of the issues actually, because the dog is always trying to tell you something. I mean, even as a person, if you suddenly, you don't know me, you come and hug me, I will like, excuse, just like, I'll push you. I'll tell you, no, hey, no. But dog is also trying to say the same thing that, hey, don't do that. I don't appreciate that. And that's the bite. But having said that, there are many things that come into picture when a dog bite happens. Now, was the dog, has the dog given you a signal? Why did the bite happen? What were you doing? Um, I think Ashish is the best person to answer that.
There could be 2-3 major reasons. One is relocations of dogs. So dogs by nature are used to the place that they live in, and they are used to the people who come by them. If you are relocating dogs to a new territory in the effort to clean up your locality, in the new locality, they will be terrified, they'll be scared, they'll find new people. Either they'll go into hiding from people, or if someone like Momita mentioned, like if you're crossing their boundaries at that time, even if you're being friendly towards them, they may just accidentally bite you. Another reason that Momita touched upon was also that uh, a lot of us, and this is mostly true for I think North India, but it is true across India as well. But that we don't teach our kids boundaries, and if you don't teach them what is the right behavior, we won't teach them for fellow humans, and we certainly don't teach them for animals. Uh, they don't know whether a dog is signaling them to approach, whether a dog is scared, when to back off, when to let the dog come to you. All those things we don't teach. We don't believe in coexistence, and that is a place where most dog bites come from. We feed 100 plus dogs on the road. uh, I have personally met all of them, meet them on a regular basis. A few times we end up with new dogs in our territory, especially around Diwali when relocations happen. And you just know how to approach that dog. You have to give them space, you have to allow some trust to build up, and then you approach the dog, be it for a vaccination, be it for a deworming, be it for seeing even if they're injured. Unless you give them their space, unless you give them the chance to, you know, get familiar with you, even if we suddenly approach the dogs, they can turn hostile. And this is something most people on the street do not know or do not want to learn.
Oh, when you're raising a child, you teach the child good touch, bad touch. You're teaching the child to coexist with every kind of human being. You're preparing everybody. You're teaching your neighbors, your friends, everybody. Then why not about dogs? You know that there's a cow walking next to you. You know that you have to move away. You seeing a dog, why can't you just walk ahead of it, or a little separately, um and educate people to not throw stones at them, not hit them with a stick, because these kind, what it does, it changes long term temperament in dogs. So even if the dog was friendly, is injured, now suddenly somebody is like trying to walk but then wants to walk there only where the dog is going to get angry and maybe bite. So um it's everything. It's right from educating your children, your friends, your family, learning how to be sympathetic, empathetic, kind towards other beings, other dogs, cats, every kind.
Right, and understanding the body language of dog is very important, whether the dog wants to be petted or not. Because many a times people and even kids, for that matter, you very rightly pointed on the education in this aspect to the kids, that people and especially kids, they just don't know if a pet has come close to them. They'll not think a minute and they'll just put their hand on their forehead, and the pet is actually startled, and because that pet is scared, that's why the bite happens.
Yes.
So it's not due to aggression all the time, and more often than not, almost in every case, there is a reason behind the aggression in dogs, be it pet dog, be it street dogs. And we need to understand that why that dog is aggressive, or the sudden aggression, why has that happened.
I
And
want to
still,
add
Sana.
something in this. In fact, what you were speaking about, most bites don't happen because of aggression, like you rightly touched upon. It happens out of fear. When a dog is being aggressive, people will be careful around the dog. They will try to avoid the dog. But if the dog bites out of fear, it comes out of nowhere. And that is where most bites on the street or even with pets are reported, out of fear.
And the dog won't bite right away. It will first growl, will show its teeth, and that's a sign of a respect. That
They will
hey,
give clear signals that
yes,
back off, this is my space.
yes,
If you don't appreciate it, if you don't respect it, then the bite happens.
The common signs are, the dog's going to look down, the ears are going to be back, the dog's obviously, the third step is going to growl, and then even spite of that, you're not listening, obviously it's going to bite you. So there are signs which you have to learn as well if you want to coexist, and these are very simple things. Yeah, people can learn this.
right. So, like you said, that these are the signs, and also these are kind of signs from the pet side, that, or from the dog side, that hey, I'm respecting, I'm not biting you. So, it's kind of a respect that I'm showing towards you. So, you need to respect my space as well. And not just street dogs, but also pet dogs. Means yesterday a pet parent came to me and they were like, my dog has suddenly turned aggressive when it comes to food. So, food aggression is seen in them. I said, like, do you needle him? Do you irritate him whenever the food is around? Do you like turn that food activity into something, irritation way? So they said, we don't do it, but there is a kid in the house. Now we can't teach the kid, right? How much you are going to educate a kid so that kid actually, like teases him with any treat or food. So I said, this is how the food aggression actually develops. And now it's not the fault of the pet, it's actually your fault that the pet has come into this place. So most often the aggression actually comes because we are failing to understand that a dog also needs space, that space needs to be respected. And when it comes to street dogs, of course the same rule applies. So what are the things that we can do to lessen down aggression in dogs when it comes to street dogs also, and a pet dog as well? And like like how can we bring this coexistence into the better practice?
First of all, we need to start doing these tuitions or these workshops with schools, colleges, neighborhood, your colonies, your societies with RWA people, like little workshops of, how to coexist. What are the signs? What are the body languages that you need to know if you're feeding the dogs in the society? What are the mandates that you need to follow? Where should the feeding bowls be available? Where should the water bowls be kept? Far away from children's zone. Teach your children that how to approach a dog, and if at all suddenly a dog comes running, what do you do? If a dog comes running to a kid, the kid has to just pause, not do sudden movements, not run, because if the child is like trying to push the dog away, the dog may just like out of whatever drive may grab or scratch, or anything can happen. These things, then you can have lots of social activities around to inform people that hey, this is possible. Education education is the only way out. What do you think?
So I have a slightly different take. I mean, everything that you said, absolutely. But for me, this also, for whatever I have seen, this also comes from a certain power dynamic. Uh, this is true for men. We don't accept that the streets belong to these dogs as well. We are not ready to accept that reality. If a bite happens, or even if a dog is chasing a kid, or even if a dog is coexisting quietly, they'll be like, the dog population has increased. They might bite our kids tomorrow. Let's relocate them. This absolute power that men believe to reside with them is the biggest uh, you know factor in terms of stopping the coexistence, uh, having a happy and healthy neighborhood. As long as men continue to believe that you can just move the dogs, you can just get rid of them, they will continue doing so. You can have workshops, you can have everything. They won't listen to anyone. Their solution will always be, out of fear they will move. uh, Fear brings out unnatural responses in people, and this is not a natural response. The natural response to this fear should be a solution, a thought out solution, like the one we are talking about. Teaching kids will be a secondary thing, but we have to teach the adults first that you have to coexist. This doesn't The land, the earth on which we are all roaming, doesn't belong to just humans. It is a space that we invited our furry friends in. We have coexisted with them for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, and we suddenly can't just get rid of them. And there will be consequences if we try to. Once you accept that, then everything that you mentioned, the workshops, the dialogues, having safe feeding spaces, having cleaner environments, because if the dogs are healthier, happier, they will automatically be less stressed. If they are not stressed, they will not approach humans out of fear, and there will be no incidents of biting. There will be reduced incidents of aggression, and you can achieve a healthier coexistence between humans and animals.
It's just so sad to even think that our first priority is teaching adults that this is how you have to be a human. Now, first priority is be a human, then be a parent, and then be whatever you are. It's just so sad to see that kindness had just like flown away the window. We don't believe in coexistence. Like my first instinct was, okay, I have to teach, because I'm a new mom now. So like my first instinct is, okay, I have to tell Eva, behave like this, do that. But it doesn't never even crosses my mind that hey, no, that it's the parents. My sister, I don't know if she's going to watch it, but I have seen her, whenever she used to visit my home, I've seen her do that in front of her daughter. She would shoo the cats, hey, go away. And then that the daughter picked up, and now Prisha also is scared of cats for no reason. And that's how it actually begins, that the fear. And that's how the responses are, that kicking the dog or killing them or relocating them. It's the fear which sadly is being run down in our system.
Right. So dogs have been a part of our society since eons. They were there yesterday, they'll be there tomorrow as well. And for this coexistence, we need to understand that better solutions are there, out there, and already in practice. So one such efficient way is sterilization. I believe that in today's world, sterilization is one of the most kindest activities that we can offer to the stray dogs out there. Because actually, if we actually do look into the data, one unsterilized dog and their offspring has the capacity to produce 60,000 offsprings in a span of 6 years. And we know that for a fact that these pets are not, these strays are not going to be adopted, right? Because humans have a tendency that we believe in, if we have a breed dog with pedigree dog, so we are going to adopt that in a second. But when it comes to stray dogs, no, means let me just stay away from them. But of course, who are actually pet parents and animal lovers, I would say, those who are real animal lovers, they would know that this is absolutely it makes no sense to have a discrimination of this sort. So what are your thoughts on sterilization? And I'm sure that you are also actively involved in sterilization.
We have over 150 babies uh, with us in the center and in the house. They're all sterilized. All of them.
including babies in the neighborhood that we have been able to get hold of and sterilize, and we have done it on our own. uh, we have sterilized cats, dogs, stray cats, house cats, uh, because like you rightly said, sterilization is the most humane solution as far as the babies on the road are concerned. Even for house babies, sterilization is very important because firstly, there are a lot of health risks which are, you know, involved with a unsterilized cat or a dog. And secondly, just the temperament, how it develops in an animal. Because if there is a drive to mate and they are not getting to mate, the temperament of the animal will change. Naturally, it will change. And if you allow them to mate, you have a population explosion of unwanted puppies or kittens whom people are not ready to give loving homes right now.
And many pet parents actually believe that getting them mated is the solution. But they need to understand that for a male dog, if you get them mated today, they'll be ready for mating just in few days. Okay, and when it comes to female dog, if you look at the world from her side, a female stray dog. So a female stray dog comes into heat every 6 months. When she comes into heat, there are so many male dogs who get attracted to her due to pheromones. So she gets so agitated. She needs to, hide herself away from those stray dogs. She's hiding here and there. And when the conception happens, when she conceives, so she has to undergo 2 months of the gestation period. She delivers the puppies. She has to take care of those puppies, and many sadly they actually road accidents happen. They don't make it through, and even if they make it through, they die due to several diseases, malnutrition, and if they survive all the atrocities, some or the other incident is going to happen. They're not going to live a very happy and a healthy life. So not just to curb the population of stray dogs out there, but also to reduce the load on animal shelters. I'm sure you would be able to attest for it. The animal shelters are actually loaded with the cases, and there are no sufficient funds, no sufficient manpower and the medicines. Of course, you'll be able to take care of a certain number of dogs only for a limited period of time. But after that, you would also need some funds and help from other people out there, right?
In fact, something just related to this happened at our farm today. There's a female who's running around our place. She's in heat. She has attracted around 20 dogs in the entire village to the area. We are feeding dogs outside. So some of the people in the village today broke the bowls of the dogs. I had to explain it to them that we have not invited the dogs by just placing 4 bowls of food. They are not going to travel 20 kilometers or 10 kilometers in the village just to reach that place for the 4 bowls of food. They are getting biscuits or milk or whatever, and they are happy living on it. They came here for the female in heat. And but the people in the village are against sterilization. It's against their religious belief. They are not against the unwanted puppies. They are happy to relocate them. They have done that in the past. We had 4 puppies who were relocated from just outside our farm Firstly, they were placed outside the farm by someone, motherless puppies, hardly 1.5, 2 months old. We started feeding them, taking care of them. Within 15 days, they were relocated from that place to somewhere else. Luckily, we went around, tried to find them for 2-3 days, and finally found them. They are now living at our farm because they would have been relocated again. But uh, it's I mean it's difficult to start this dialogue. We are trying at our level in whosoever comes within our circle of influence, and that is the way to go. People have to realize this, that whatever your religious beliefs may be, if you are against death, if you are against misery, if that is what religion is telling you, then sterilization is not going to cause any misery. The females, the males, all of them will be happy. They it wouldn't bother them. Any mother dog who gives birth to puppies, she'll be attached to the puppies for 2.5 months, maximum 3 months. After that, she doesn't care about them, and that's the reality of life. She would want to be away from the puppies. It's a behavior observed on the road, it's a behavior observed with pets, and it won't bother them not having puppies if their overall health and well-being is being taken care of. But for unwanted puppies who may die of diseases, accidents, or will be relocated in the future, it's a certain death sentence which they are going to face.
And it's just not our responsibility. It's also the authorities. They need to have amendments. They need to have these rules in place and space and constructions across to get the surgeries done. It's their duty. And yeah, so it's just not people who are taking care of the dogs, not just people like us or the feeders or anybody, but also the authorities come into the picture of taking these, because they're taking care of us. The rules and regulations, whatever that we've come under, so do the animals, because they're a part of our society, and that's how they are also responsible for each living being.
Right. So sterilization will definitely make the life of a dog better, because dogs, as we know, are territorial by nature. So if the population is going to increase, more dogs are going to come into the
Yes.
limited spaces.
And also vaccinations.
Absolutely. So whenever a dog goes for the sterilization in MCD, a vaccination shot is given of anti-rabies, right? So like I was saying, so the space is already so limited, right? And due to the human population also growing, and such fights also happening between people that dogs should be there or should not be there. So the only best possible way is to sterilize the dogs, because their life would become better. There would be less fights, there would be less competition for the food, for the area, and for mating as well, and so for so many things. And like you rightly mentioned that, and that there was a section of people who were against sterilization because their religious beliefs said otherwise. But people cannot ignore the medical facts, the benefits, the health benefits that sterilization also offers. To state a few, that in female dogs, mammary gland tumor, pyometra, these are certain conditions which are a age related issue, right? And we encounter them when the pet is old, and at that time, due to the risk of anesthesia, a pet cannot go surgery. And the same thing applies for a male dog too, like perineal hernia, prostate gland enlargement, testicular tumor. These are all reproductive associated conditions, and that can easily be eliminated once you get your pet neutered. So it not just helps lessening down the aggression, but also has the health benefits. So people need to understand that very much. And again, I would like to bring this to the animal feeders as well. People do say that yes, the responsibility of animal feeders do not just end by feeding them. You have to get them vaccinated regularly, you have to get them neutered regularly. When they fall sick, you have to take them to the vets as well. And you people, I know, are very actively involved in all of these aspects. So,
But people also have to allow us to do that.
right.
The biggest challenge is people not cooperating with us. We would love to do that.
So what problems did you face?
Arey, log karne to de. We would happily want to neuter them, spay them, vaccinate them, treat them. But people have to nose around everywhere. So I think अगर लोग contribute करने देंगे हमें, then we will be happy to help in many cases. And
And like you
also,
See,
mentioned-
you can't pick up a dog from the road and just neuter him like that.
हाँ,
आपको पहले दोस्ती करनी पड़ेगी, आपको खाना खिलाना होगा उसको, and
feeding
vaccinate
them is also a challenge, I think, for you. Like
Yes,
you mentioned
absolutely.
when we were talking just right now, that you have to feed them at odd hours in the morning at probably 5 or 6,
कि लोग
right?
ना हो, लोग ना देखें
हाँ।
जैसे हम कोई क्राइम कर रहे हैं.
आप उठा के सीधे रोड से न्यूटर नहीं कर सकते हो, आपको उनको फीड करना है, आपको उनका ध्यान रखना है, ट्रस्ट बिल्डअप करना है, तब वो जाके न्यूटर होंगे. लाइक हमने इतनी बारी एनजीओ की गाड़ियां बुलाई हैं कि उठा के लेके जाओ डॉग्स को न्यूटर करने के लिए, एक कुत्ता नहीं पकड़ पाते. वी हैव टू पिक अप द डॉग्स वी नो, those who trust us, we take them in our car or we put them in their vehicle, in their ambulances, and then they take them for neutering. तो ऐसे करके we have neutered over 100 dogs on the road. Few of them are now living with us on the farm. That's a different thing. वो भी इसीलिए आए रहने के लिए, because people were running them over with cars, people were beating them with sticks. Adult dogs, 25-25 किलो के dogs को आप run over करके जा रहे हो कार से. If people do not let us take care of dogs on the road, आप उनको न्यूटर नहीं कर सकते हो. Everyone wants the dogs neutered.
You want the nuisance
You
to
don't
be
want.
gone, na? Then we are the ones taking care of the dogs. Give us that in charge. Like we will be in charge of it. हमको allow करो, we will get the dogs neutered. But दोस्ती करने दो. आप ऐसे ही किसी भी कुत्ते को उठाकर नसबंदी नहीं करा सकते. That's not possible because हाथ ही नहीं आएंगे. वही काट के भाग जाएंगे. फिर then again another issue कि काट दिया अब तो हटाना ही पड़ेगा, जहर दे दिया. नहीं, ये
The-
नहीं कर सकते.
The
एक
entire
प्रोसेस है.
the entire failure of the MCD or any municipal corporation का program to neuter the dogs has not just been corruption. Corruption is one major factor because of which TNR programs have failed in India. The other issue is the MCD guys are not capable of catching the dogs. That's a reality, whether we accept it or not. क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं है dogs कहाँ पर छुपते हैं, कहाँ पर खाना खाते हैं. They have zero trust with the dogs, and no one will have. Across the world, how people have gotten rid of stray dogs is not by putting them in kennels, throwing them away in jungles. People have practiced humane solutions. You let the dogs be fed, taken care of. You get feeders involved in getting the dogs picked up for neutering, for vaccinations. And once the dogs in the neighborhood are getting vaccinated and neutered, automatically their population comes down. You also incentivize people to adopt the dogs. इंडिया में इंडीज का अडॉप्शन, आप लोगों से पूछो, अच्छा सड़क के कुत्ते, इनको तो नहीं, हमें कुत्ता चाहिए, सड़क वाले नहीं, ये तो नॉर्मल कुत्ते हैं, हमें कुत्ता चाहिए. तो फॉर देम अडॉप्टिंग अ डॉग और बाइंग अ डॉग वुड बी अ लैब्राडोर, वुड बी a golden retriever or
It has
anything.
become a status
And
symbol.
nothing against those dogs, lovely babies, everyone. But indies are very intuitive. Indies are highly trainable. Once you love an indie, you know the kind of emotions with which they reciprocate. We have a newborn daughter, our indie, 2-year-old indie, Beanie. She's obsessed with our daughter. It's like it's our own puppy. And by the way, she's neutered. Still, she has those motherly emotions for the child, and she smells her feet, she licks her feet, she knows how to maintain distance. अगर उस डॉटर को कोई हाथ में उठा रहा है तो she will start barking if she is not sure if the person is friendly or not. So it's a nightmare for our Japa, but
Japa is who?
Nanny.
a nanny.
Okay.
So for her it's a nightmare, but otherwise, like, she's as good as our Labrador who's adopted. Both love the baby completely, and this is the story of every indie. So they can be adopted, people can be given tax breaks for adopting indies. Breeding has to be absolutely banned in India. हमारे पास पेट पेरेंट्स बहुत हैं, लेकिन मोस्टली लोगों के पास ब्रीड डॉग्स हैं जो कि इलीगल ब्रीडिंग फैसिलिटीज से आए हैं. एंड व्हाट हैपेंस इज, आपको तो अच्छा पपी मिला, हेल्दी पपी मिला, लेकिन उसकी जगह 4 जो अनहेल्दी पपी थे वो डिस्कार्ड कर दिए गए. वी हैव अ ब्रीडर डिस्कार्ड एट आवर होम, अ लैब्राडोर. शी लुक्स लाइक शी इज 10 year old. उसकी जो मेंटल कैपेसिटी है वो 2 year के डॉग की है. She plays with toys. She's obsessed with toys. She has never had one in her life. She has seen her puppies grow up with toys, be adopted because उनके लिए cute photos लेनी थी, उनको adopt कराना था, but उसको वो toys नहीं मिले. Now she's obsessed with them. Every time she'll approach us, she'll have a toy in her mouth कि आओ मेरे साथ खेलो. And that is the condition of most dogs who are breeder discards. And they end up on the road. They end up getting killed by a vehicle, killed by other stray dogs who are territorial. So breeding has to be absolutely banned, has to be closely monitored. जो लोग breed dogs ला रहे हैं बाहर से, उनके ऊपर थोड़ा taxation किया जा सकता है to promote the indie adoption. And that way, slowly, you can reduce the dogs on the road. See, one common thing, we were sitting on a pet policy discussion with our RWA recently, and we ended up discussing stray dogs as one usually does. So one common thing everyone agrees is animal lovers, animal haters, we do not want stray dogs. None of us do. The solution they recommend is killing them or removing them, throwing them in jungles. The solution we recommend them is housing them. They deserve houses. They do not deserve shelters. They do not deserve poison. Every indie, every dog deserves love.
Absolutely. And like you said that I think now people are becoming more and more aware that yes, this discrimination shouldn't be done, and indies are actually the best breed to have as a pet. They are so low maintenance breeds. They are so intelligent, they're so loving, they're so caring, and like you said, they're so protective also of your daughter. And so I think these are the best breeds to have, right?
Like, I would disagree here a little bit, saying low maintenance. ये बोलकर ना हम इंडीज को भी थोड़ा हल्के में ले रहे हैं, बिकॉज आई हैव बीन हियरिंग दैट दे डोंट नीड सो मच केयर, प्लीज अडॉप्ट. यार अडॉप्ट तो कर लोगे, बट विल यू बी एबल टू टेक केयर ऑफ द डॉग? एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स अ डॉग. You have to think and treat the dog like a dog. His requirements, his medical facilities, neuter किया, vaccination किया, ठीक से दवाइयाँ दी, उसके blood work क्या है, ठीक है नहीं है. These things need to be kept in my mind. So they are not low maintenance.
Right,
They-
that's a given the point
Yeah.
that you said. But by low maintenance, I mean that so most people have Shih Tzus at their home right now. Shih Tzus, if you compare a Shih Tzu to a mongrel dog, they are quite very different from each other. Even if so trimming, like if you talk about the grooming aspect, a trim needs to be done every 15 days for a Shih Tzu. But when it comes to a mongrel, you don't have to
But
trim
you
their
also
hair.
have to see that whether the dog is not getting any ticks, fleas in the house, getting
Of course,
nail
these are
trimmed
the basic
regularly.
things. But when we talk
Yeah.
about these aspects, that also I've one thing that I've very much noticed is that the pedigree dogs are very sensitive. Okay, their system is now in such a way that they're so sensitive. So if a sneeze, that I mean, their immune system per se is very different.
Because they're not from this place.
Exactly.
Indies, I agree with you. Indies are low maintenance. I mean, what she's trying to say, I think, is also something I'm getting. Like, Indies को ये नहीं है कि हम कुछ भी खिला दें. We can give them
Yes,
anything.
they can't
We have
be
to
taken
maintain
for
them as
granted,
well.
of course.
Yeah, but like pedigree dogs, since they have not come from this country, while they might have been bred here, originally they are from UK, they are from America, they are from different places that they have originally been bred in. A husky will never be happy in the tropical weather of India, no matter how much AC you put on. वो बाहर वॉक पे तो आएगा ही, AC नहीं मिलेगा उसको वॉक पे. A Shih Tzu, उसके बाल आप 15 दिन में इसलिए कटवा रहे हो क्योंकि उसको इस वेदर में नहीं रहा जाएगा with the kind of hair that they have. A Persian cat will never be comfortable in this place. ईरान में they are happy. वहाँ पर weather is different. इंडिया में, साउथ इंडिया में, खासकर वेस्ट इंडिया में, even in North India in the summers, the weather is not suitable for them. So indie dogs, indie cats, they have this thing ki, since they have been evolving for thousands of years in this climate, they have become acclimatized to it. They understand the environment, their bodies understand it, and their demands are very basic, is I think what you were trying to say. Whereas pedigree dogs ka and everyone, these guys need extra care. Their bodies are more sensitive to even the slightest changes over here, and that's why keeping them will also always cost more money.
In today's world, keeping a pet is of course expensive.
Yeah.
You cannot be just like throw them any food that you're eating
Don't ask.
and just throw water on them, and that's what
I think their
grooming
food is more expensive than ours. Like we are absolutely low maintenance people. Like हम basic दाल चावल daily खा रहे हैं, but हमारे बच्चों को रोज अच्छा अच्छा खाना चाहिए. But having said that, that's also necessary. क्योंकि हमको पता है कि हम क्या खा रहे हैं, हमको क्या खाने से खिचड़ी खाओ, सब्जियां खाओ, ग्रीन्स खाओ, एक टाइप का प्रोटीन whatever, हमको पता है कि this is what you need, your body will function well. आपके डॉक्टर के पास नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. But for your pets, you have to give them the appropriate food, the species appropriate food, so that they also don't fall sick. I would might as well give them expensive food जो मैं बना रही हूँ घर पे, rather than taking them to the vet every now and then. So, obviously it's expensive, but at the same time, if you love them,
In fact,
then you will work things around.
right.
in fact, one of the motivations for Momita to start Mother of Strays was also because she was seeing that species appropriate food was not being given to dogs around her area. While she was cooking for the home babies herself, she found out solutions. She worked cruelty free solutions where you could give species appropriate food for strays, for pets, which is very low cost, at the same time matches the nutrition. So having the right amount of calcium, having the right amount of protein, everything. And she made low cost solutions, healthy solutions, which even people who are vegetarians, like I am a vegetarian, I met her through Mother of Strays only. I tried her products, and the idea was that I don't want non-veg cooked in my house, but I could use her meal mix, the stray meal mix, add it to boiled rice and just feed my babies. And that is something we are trying to innovate in terms of getting low cost food as much as possible, but still it will be more costly than human food because it is of a certain level. It has chicken, it has fish, so wo costing will always be there. And but that is something the babies need. And this is also another factor where I think dogs fall sick on the road a lot of times. They end up eating milk, glucose biscuits, and skin allergy hoga, irritation hoga. That is also one of the reasons where circling back to bites and aggression.
That was
अगर
also
कोई
one
dog
of the main
uncomfortable होगा.
motivation where the food wherever that I make big came from is like people give glucose biscuits and people give दूध. ये दूध देना तो पता नहीं कौन से comics से आया that people have been like giving them cats and dogs milk, and most of them are lactose intolerant. They are silently suffering of diarrhea. They are dying of dehydration. We don't even know what's happening to them. And all because they are lactose intolerant. So I had to come up with a solution that, nahi boss, इस प्राइस में ये क्या मैं हेल्दी दे सकती हूँ. So did the research and came with whatever. But yes, having said that, दूध is the worst you can do. आप प्यार भी कर रहे हो लेकिन आप नुकसान कर रहे हो दूध देकर. So like absolute no.
And to make the meal worse, they add doodh and bread.
Doodh and bread, oh god, maida, which their system can't digest, and doodh, which again lactose
People have
can't.
started feeding cows bread.
Oof.
Right. So they're like कि कुछ ना कुछ तो देना out of religious belief. So
Yeah.
कुछ भी दे दो.
कुछ भी दे दो.
Right. So coming back to strays, apart from sterilization, and we have discussed
one thing that हम हमारे कल्चर में हम मम्मी कहती थी कि काले कुत्ते को जाकर रोटी दे देना या काला किसी को भी रोटी दे देना. हम कह रहे हैं religion is saying that you have to feed the dogs, you have to end of the day learn to coexist with them, but still you don't want to do that. मुसीबत आती है, again fear हो जाएगा कि मेरी फैमिली में कुछ हो जाएगा, I should do this cause. Then you want to feed the dogs, but you don't want to feed the dogs when it actually has to happen. Then you are like, no, काटता है, ये है, वो है. But your religious books are saying that, hey, dude, you have to.
absolutely, that's a very right point. Because dogs won't feel hunger only when you want them to feel hungry and you are giving them something.
When it's coming out of selfishness कि यार आज मैंने शनि देव का पूजा किया है, आज मैं काले कुत्ते को रोटी खिलाऊंगा, बाकी दिन वो काला कुत्ता अंधेरे में दिखता नहीं है उन्हें.
Right. So, like I was saying, coming back to stray dogs, we've talked the how important sterilization its benefits. What are the other ways apart from sterilization and vaccination and feeding them, of course, that we can do something for their welfare?
Adoptions, getting whatever puppies are being born. And there's also not just puppies, there's a huge misconception that adult dogs can't be adopted. Senior dogs, adult dogs, once they get a certain level of bonding with people, they can be adopted. We have adopted adult dogs in the past, and we have seen others around us do it. You have to push for adoptions. You have to make people see you. I mean, you can't force it on people, but you have to make them see how much you gain by adopting a dog from the street. The dog will forever be grateful to you. The love that you will get from the adoption will be immense. And apart from that, I think is also something that you have to have cleaner spaces, cleaner public places. अगर आपको दिखेगा ही नहीं कि डॉग्स कहाँ छुपे हुए हैं, क्या हो रहा है, आप स्टेरिलाइजेशन, अडॉप्शन कहीं पहुंच ही नहीं पाओगे. हमारे यहाँ पर इतने अनक्लीन स्पेसेस हैं इन आवर सिटीज ओनली. देयर इज अ स्ट्रेच ऑन द सदर्न पेरिफेरल रोड इन गुड़गांव. दिल्ली में मल्टीपल कूड़े के ढेर हैं वेयर आर CM मैजिकली सेज कूड़ा चला जाएगा. बोलती हूँ मैं जाके और कूड़ा चला जाता है, बट वो जाता नहीं है. वहाँ पर हमने पूरा ब्रीडिंग ग्राउंड बना रखा है एनिमल्स का, एंड दैट इज ऑल्सो ब्रीडिंग ग्राउंड फॉर डिसीजेस. वी नीड टू क्लीन अप आवर पब्लिक स्पेसेस एज मच एज पॉसिबल एंड follow the adoption and follow the sterilizations. That will help. Beyond sterilizations जो हमने measures discuss करे, the problem is that while we are discussing it, adoptions हो, sterilization हो, vaccination हो, government or authorities are not serious about it. Recently, the Supreme Court reprimanded most of the states of India, most of the state government, municipal corporations, कि आपने कोई steps बताए ही नहीं कि stray dogs का so called menace के लिए आप क्या करने वाले हो. They are not telling the Supreme Court right now this is the level of seriousness. अगर serious होते, अगर हम अमिताभ बच्चन जी को ला के 2 बूंद जिंदगी के कर सकते हैं पोलियो ड्रॉप्स के लिए, कोई भी बड़े सेलिब्रिटी को ला के इंडीज के अडॉप्शन को हम क्यों प्रमोट नहीं कर सकते हैं? गवर्नमेंट प्रोग्राम्स क्यों नहीं हो सकते इंडी अडॉप्शंस के लिए, स्टेरिलाइजेशन को प्रमोट करने के लिए? हम लोग स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं विलेजेस में जाके लोगों को समझाने के लिए कि स्टेरिलाइजेशन के हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स क्या हैं, सोसाइटल बेनिफिट्स क्या हैं. ये हम बड़े बड़े सेलिब्रिटीज को लाके गवर्नमेंट के प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करके क्यों नहीं कर सकते? यू आर आस्किंग अबाउट द चैलेंजेस दैट वी आर फेसिंग इन द सोसाइटी, getting assaulted, getting abused on a daily basis for feeding, taking care of animals whom we plan to neuter and vaccinate, क्योंकि उसके बिना नहीं हो सकता, is one. But अगर यही government के end से who have allocated funds for all this, they have funds for neutering dogs, they have tenders taken out which go to NGOs for neutering dogs. अगर वो funds थोड़े से utilize करके जो हमारे ही taxes से आ रहे हैं, if we have awareness programs where people themselves get educated कि the only solution is that you vaccinate dogs, you neuter dogs, you adopt dogs, और हम comprehensive programs बनाएंगे government की तरफ से, the solution of stray dogs will come within a year. It won't even take more than a year. And governments across the world have done that. It's just that we need to have our governments, have our politicians sensitized to this, जो कि आज के time में we are failing. People are doing it. Celebrities are willing to participate. You go to a John Abraham, he will happily come and onboard a program for the government. 2 aspect हैं, एक तो celebrity का अपना reach है, एक government का media reach है. अगर आप हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर के ऊपर सॉन्ग चला के हर स्टेशन पे ब्लास्ट कर सकते हो, आप सिमिलर तरीके से डॉग्स के लिए, अडॉप्शन के लिए, हर चीज के लिए you can have that media outreach on news channels, you can have it on daily soaps के programming के बीच में. You can have that movement if you are really serious about it. Any government, and I'm not being political about it right now, कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हो, We saw it during the struggle right now. After 11th of August, stray dogs के लिए, no political party has openly come and supported the issue. Everyone is more interested in the vote banks and everything. Real solution for dogs, for humans, for coexistence, no one wants to look into. And we need politicians, we need public personalities, all of them to come together and advocate for solutions for dogs.
I think narration change karna padega, because the narration is completely, right now it's like, oh my god, dogs are biting. It's been a year that I'm in Gurgaon, and I may have encountered, I've met more than 500, 600 dogs, that I have not seen any dog bite. Like, I haven't personally been bitten by any dog here. Kahan ho rahe hain ye dog biting cases that people are claiming? There's so many, some 70,000 or 1 lakh plus cases apparently from Safdarjung Hospital.
That is the other thing. Dog bite cases कैसे आते हैं? आपने जो rabies vaccine sell कर दिए, उसके through आपने dog bite cases निकलवा दिए. Now we as animal caretakers, we are both vaccinated. We renew our vaccines every year. तो मैं पिछले 3 साल में कम से कम 10 वैक्सीन लगा चुका हूँ, वो 10 डॉग बाइट केसेस बन जाएंगे. रेबीज की डेथ्स इन दिल्ली एनसीआर अकॉर्डिंग टू गवर्नमेंट्स ओन डेटा आर zero human deaths in the last 3 years. Dog bite cases inflate करे हुए हैं. There is no study. There are studies which we have come across, NGOs, institutions who are doing studies, isolated studies. Kava is one of them. They are doing a study on dog bites. They did a simple questionnaire, anti-rabies program के लिए उनके, where people were asked कि आपको dog bite कैसे हुआ, pet dog bite कितना था, pet cat bite कितना था, scratch कितना था, stray dog bite कितना था. From the reported number of stray dog bites to the actual number of stray dog bites, there was a factor of 10 का difference, directly a factor of 10. And this is something where our media is playing a hugely negative role.
Yeah.
They are just running with these inflated numbers to create a sensationalist story. There are hidden agendas behind it. People have discussed them, and it's just reached a point where now the fear psychosis is in the minds of everyone. People who were earlier not afraid of dogs are now scared of dogs, and this will only breed more man-animal conflict rather than reduce it.
But ये dogs में भी rabies फैल कैसे रहा है? गंदगी की वजह से. Our municipalities, they don't even clean garbages. What are they eating? The rodents are eating. Who are the actual carriers of rabies? They're mongoose, they're rabies, they're snakes. And the dogs are eating them. So who's actually to be blamed? The dogs or actual authorities who are not doing their duties and then completely blaming the dogs that they are getting rabies. But actual rabies cases है भी नहीं दिल्ली में. कितने
0 in 3 years, like I said. And the
Goa
dogs
was
themselves
also-
are a victim
Goa
of the
was
disease.
also declared rabies free in the past for couple of years.
Yes, yes.
And they had a good TNR program, trap, neuter, release program, in which they would neuter the dogs, vaccinate the dogs for anti-rabies at the time of neutering. And the program ran very well. And it's not just Goa. Countries across the world have ran those programs. And you can Google the data. And the rabies cases have become zero in those countries. If Delhi NCR can have 0 rabies cases, if Goa can have 0 rabies cases, we can have a rabies mukt Bharat as well. But the authorities need to start taking real action. Politics needs to be dropped from this completely. It needs to be a human-animal solution. It will never be a human solution.
See, if you're trying to become America, you can't. We're Indians. हमारे religious books में ही लिखा है coexistence. So you can never aim becoming that because you can't. In our culture, we are used to feeding cows, we are used to feeding the dogs, we're used to feeding the crows. They call crows our ancestors. So we are preaching coexistence since the very childhood. So you can't aim on becoming something which you are not. So it's very important that you be in reality, and whatever you have learned, start practicing that. Because if you're not, then you're going literally 100 years back or 100 years ahead and killing yourself. Because that's what's happening. What is global warming? You are actually killing the environment by by having zero tolerance towards anything and everything.
Right.
And it's sort of funny, like for everything there is a belief कि हमें इंडियन वैल्यूज पे स्टिक करना है, हमें हर चीज में इंडियन प्रमोट करना है, बट जहाँ डॉग्स की बात आती है वी हैव टू एमुलेट वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज. वहां पर भी एमुलेट करने को तो हम चाह रहे हैं, बट हम बस एंड रिजल्ट देख रहे हैं जीरो डॉग्स का. वो किस तरह अचीव किया है वो भी हम देखना नहीं चाहते हैं. दो जगह हमने डॉग पाउंड्स देख लिए, तो हम बोलेंगे कि हमको डॉग पाउंड खोल के एलिमिनेट करने हैं स्ट्रेज. लॉजिस्टिकल फिजिबिलिटी नहीं देखेंगे, कुछ नहीं. वी जस्ट वांट to treat the dogs as a problem and want them gone. Solution is far away from it.
In Mumbai, we have seen dogs. I used to live on the island, Mud Island, and I've seen dogs cross jetties, ferries with humans, and they are completely fine. Cats would sleep under people's car or sometimes, on the bikes, and they would be everybody coexisting together, dogs and cats together, because the fisher ladies, क्योंकि coastal area है, we have a lot of fisher ladies. They feed the cats and the dogs also eat fish, and they are all surviving together. वो threshold है लोगों का of coexistence. But here, we are bothering the dogs and the dogs are bothering the cats. That's why you don't see cats around. We have 17 cats in the house, literally coexisting, happily thriving with 6 dogs, like full grown dogs. And they're absolutely happy. That's possible just by actually practicing love, affection, kindness, which now has just become word.
So you're saying that in Mumbai, the scenario is different when it comes to coexistence of dogs and cats.
Yes, yes.
And here, when you're experiencing in Delhi, it's different.
In pandemic, I was there. We had around 20 dogs in the society. And then I was the notorious one. I started feeding. Okay, because zarurat tha, or, people would not step out. There were no garbage. So the dogs had started coming in. And slowly, from 30, there were 60 dogs in a gated community. And we got all of them spayed and neutered. And now they're living there very happily. And people feed them. So we have a WhatsApp group. And these dogs are taken care by them. They have their vaccination and spay neuter records. And if somebody is not available, somebody else is taking care of them. And they all have names. And whenever, one of them passes or gets adopted, we all know and we cheer. And I'm still there on that group. And it's such a wonderful thing to see, which I don't get to see here at all. We don't have a WhatsApp group of pet dogs community. Forget about stray dogs community.
So in your farm, you have approximately over 100 dogs, I guess.
Yes.
So tell me, how's your day like? Or, just give us a brief about what experience do you face, on daily basis? Because not everybody has this number of, or encounter with this number of animals each and every day.
I think our tick list, to-do list is very fast. Like me and Ashish can do 1,000 things in a day, I feel, just because the number of dogs that we have, they've taught us to be so fast in life. But he goes to the farm regularly. I attend the babies at home because of Eva, of course. You tell?
Sometimes it's too stressful. Sometimes it's fulfilling. Depends if my babies are okay. So when they are okay, when they are healthy, it's the most enriching thing in the world. Just by having them run, play, they will all come, kiss. We have an epileptic dog at the farm. She has now started a new habit. She will come and start kissing me inside my mouth. Her tongue will go automatically inside kiss karte karte, and I let her. Usko liberties hain because she has had too many epileptic fits in the recent time. And just seeing her healthy, seeing the others healthy, seeing them run, seeing them play, knowing that most of these babies were on the street where I was taking care of them, and they were being run over by cars, they were being beaten by guards, they have lost siblings on the road, and now seeing them in a happy space, just enjoying themselves, uh, we got a green mat in the farm just before the rains. We covered it with fake grass because our farm is located in an area where the land is at a lower level. तो पूरा उसमें water logging होता है, no matter what you do. It's all mud, and due to the water logging, that babies were not able to come out and play during the entire rains last year. So this year we got these mats in. This was the only and the lowest cost solution possible, short of just cementing the whole farm. These dogs are so happy running on that fake grass. It's just like a lease of life for them. We recently got a paralyzed dog at the farm. He was hit by a vehicle, probably running away from crackers or something during the Diwali celebrations. And this baby can't walk. He's paralyzed. His spine is broken. We gave him a bori bed just now. He grabbed onto one like hell. उसको ठंड लग रही थी रात को, and because of paralysis he was not moving much. सुसु पॉटी कर रहा था उस जगह पे. He's being very aggressive towards humans. He's very scared of us. तो हम उसको उठा के इधर उधर नहीं रख पा रहे हैं. वो खुद से मूव करता है, पूप करता है, तो we remove it with a scoop and everything. सुसु में we dry it with newspapers. But more or less वो cold भी रहता है, जमीन पे रहता है, and we are not able to do much with him. But once we gave him a bori bed near him, he has been grabbing onto one like anything. वो सुसु करके गीला कर देता है, looks for another one, and just जैसे ही मिला 2 मिनट बाद आके देखोगे, पहले हमारे सामने मूव नहीं करेगा, he is scared of us, but वो आके grab कर लेगा. So that just one small interaction gives a lot of happiness कि yeah, these babies are happy, we have a space where they are being taken care of. So that just enriches the day. It's very tiring. When they fall sick, it's very stressful, but more or less the days are happy with them.
And especially when one passes by, passes away. So I think that time also it's a very emotionally draining experience, I'm sure.
I shut myself. When that happens, I shut myself for a while. It only takes another baby to make me come out of that shell. I've lost too many to even say anything. When I first started taking care of babies, there were these 2 stray cats who I was taking care of. One of them is my house cat now. The other one, her brother, they were both neutered and spayed, vaccinated. I used to run around the colony feeding them, and they were very happy outside. I never thought of getting them inside the house. I grew up in a house where we had no pets. So I just started taking care of them outside. He died. He was killed, ironically, in a stray dog attack. And he wandered into their territory looking for some food, mice, birds, anything. And he wound up dead. Uh, it caused me a year-long depression. I lost half my weight. It took me adopting 3 cats, including his sister, and 2 newborn kittens whom I never intended to adopt. They were motherless, and their mother had been scared away by a stray dog, and they were crying, and someone posted their video online. I just ventured to get them and put them in a Friendigos or a shelter जहाँ पर वो safe रहें. Shelter refused to accept them. They ended up at my house. I put up their adoption post. किसी ने adopt नहीं किया. जब 2-3 महीने बाद हो गया कि उनको अब मैं ही रखने वाला हूँ, that got me into a space जहाँ पे वो धीरे धीरे वो depression which I got into after losing my first cat, that started dissipating. It took an entire year for me to fully come out of it, but every baby since then has been a similar experience. It's just that with more babies around, you have to push yourself to come out, and you have to do it for them. And it's not something that you sacrifice, or it's not something that you have to do something different. Just knowing that your other babies are safe, they are happy, they automatically bring that happiness to your heart. They heal you. Only babies heal the loss that you feel on losing a baby.
Right, because if you have lost one, you still have responsibility for the 99 others.
Yes.
So maybe that keeps you going each and every day.
And life and death is not in our control. We can, I think Momita has brought this line into my head, and I try to live by it. The babies have to thrive. They have to be happy for as long as they live. We can't control life and death. आप फार्म पे भी लेके आ जाओगे बच्चे को, अगर उसको जाना है वो जाएगा, रोड पे भी उसको जाना है वो जाएगा, बट रोड पे वो किसी के हाथ से ज़बरदस्ती मारा नहीं जाएगा। एंड हम सब बच्चों को फार्म पे नहीं ला सकते, तो हमें आज के टाइम पे ये करना है कि रोड पे हर बच्चा जो रह रहा है वो सेफ है। लोग इतने अवेयर हैं, लोग इतने माइंडफुल हैं कि हम जानवरों को रोड पे नुकसान ना पहुंचाएं। जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, लाइक जितने रोड एक्सीडेंट्स एनिमल्स के होते हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे कहावत है उसके लेके कि कुत्ते की मौत मर गया। वी डोंट इवन थिंक अबाउट इट व्हाई दिस कहावत एग्जिस्ट और व्हाई दिस बिलीफ एग्जिस्ट। हमें लगता है कि नहीं यार, कुत्ते भाग के आ जाते हैं रोड पे और एक्सीडेंट्स हो जाते हैं। ऐसा नहीं है। आई एम ऑल्सो समवन हु ड्राइव्स अ कार। मेरे गाड़ी के आगे भी कुत्ते आए हैं, टच वुड, आई हैव बीन एबल टू ब्रेक, आई हैव बीन एबल टू स्टॉप। जो लोग कुत्तों को गाड़ी से मार के जाते हैं रोड पे, आई वांट टू आस्क देम दिस क्वेश्चन, उनकी गाड़ी के आगे कभी बच्चे कैसे नहीं आए, ह्यूमन किड्स कैसे नहीं आए? क्योंकि बच्चे भी उनकी गाड़ी के आगे आए हैं, अगर वो इतनी बेध्यानी से चला रहे हैं, लेकिन वो ब्रेक लगा लेते हैं। कुत्ते को देख के लोग सोचते हैं कि क्या करना ब्रेक लगा के, चलती है तो चलने दो। एंड दैट मेंटालिटी we have to change to make our roads safer overall for street dogs. The biggest killer of street dogs, apart from diseases like parvo, is them being run over by cars. And they get run over as puppies, they get run over as adult dogs. And as long as we are able to keep them safe and healthy and happy, human animal conflict nahi hoga.
So there was a case of a stray puppy who was showing signs of vomiting and loose motion, and he happened to contract parvo infection. He came to the clinic, and the person who got it had never got pet earlier. So the person came to the clinic regularly, and then eventually the pet actually survived that infection and got back to normal. So during that treatment course, the person got so much attached to that puppy. Eventually, he thought of adopting it. So and then when that puppy actually used to come for the normal routine vaccination and dewormings, it was so good to see that pet back to his or her normal life. So I decided that if people are actually getting encouraged, through my little efforts, little efforts as in I offer to give them discount on the vaccination and deworming and even the vet bills overall. So this way at least the people can get more encouraged to adopt animals. At least it can be easy on their pockets. So the idea of that having a pet is very expensive, if I can lessen that a little bit, so I think yeah. And there's so many vets, I have, to my knowledge, they are also doing the same practice. So people out there are there to help you, so just be more coexistent concept again and again that should come into practice, like
Even we at Mother of Strays are doing that. We have our entire range on a special discount. If you're an indie parent, we have been giving it for I think more than 6 months now. The idea is, again, like you said, to encourage a lot of indie adoptions and to help and support people who are actually taking care of indies as their house pets, keeping them in their homes. So a beautiful thought. And I know a lot of other brands are also starting to do it. A lot of us as the community need to keep pushing towards these thoughts, and I think it will lead to good results for indie adoptions.
हम देसी हमारे देसी.
right, that's a very beautiful slogan. I think that should be carried forward.
कितना मजा आता ना when we think that we live in a joint family, chacha, chachi, bhatija, bhai, cousins, everybody, all of us living together. The same feeling if we learn to do that on the roads, on the streets, in our environment, in our jungles as well. We learn to wrap them in a hug, in that love, and be happy, because that gives us real happiness as well. And we will all be actually real humans then.
And I think you people are very lucky, because as they say that you don't choose the
Yeah,
animal, the
yeah.
animal chooses
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
and
that's
you've
true.
been
They do.
chosen by almost 100 plus animals.
Oh God.
So that's a great blessing in its own way, I
Too
believe.
much luck.
Not too much more, room for more, absolutely. Also, see, it's something we all have to understand. If we keep harming and hunting and destroying everything that we do not understand or we do not relate to or we are not happy with, on the planet, the only ones left will be us. There will be no dogs, there will be no cats, there will be nothing in the environment. And imagine what kind of a boring environment it will be if it's just us. Firstly, the environment won't be able to sustain just us. Every species on the planet, from a bee to a cat to a dog to a cow, has a certain role on the planet. And secondly, even if somehow the planet was able to sustain somehow, it will reset. Humans will be the next to go once we have eradicated and removed all the other species from our environment. So this is something that we will have to understand, and hopefully it brings about a change in the thought process and brings about some coexistence.
So I think people should get encouraged. I actually urge people that they should go for adoption rather than shopping. Uh, Pets are actually some gifts that you actually just shop. They friends are not to be shopped. Actually, friends are to be made and adopted. Adoption is the only way for it. And not just that, okay, you are changing the life of a dog by adopting it, but what about the the stray dogs population out there? So people should go ahead with sterilization, proper vaccination, and also putting reflective collars on the puppies. That is also a way to avoid road accidents, reflective collars, right? And the main thing here, that especially to make things easier for people like you, that be cooperative when the feeders come and they're doing their job. The feeders are not trying to involve you forcefully against your will. They're just doing their job out of their own happiness and their own will, but at least let's just be cooperative. And this is how we can bring the concept of coexistence in a better way, in a better form, and so that dogs are also there in the society, humans are also there, and everyone is like living happily. Let's just hope for a scenario like that.
Yay!
All right, thank you so much for your time, and
Thank you.
all the best with your foundation, with your shelter. uh, I'm sure people would be inspired by the work that you do, and please continue to do that. Their numbers are
And don't
currently
leave dogs at our shelter door.
Yes, please don't do that, and adopt as many dogs as you can and take full responsibility of them.
Come to our farm and adopt as many as you can. They're all loving babies. Uh, we have dogs at our farm who are friendlier than our house dogs, and unfortunately, they are at the farm because we didn't have any capacity at the home. So, not just ours. Go to every shelter. If you want to shop for a pet, don't shop. Go to shelters, adopt one, bring happiness to their lives, and these babies will bring
And
unbound
the
happiness to your lives.
sukoon that you get, bring them home, give them that one bed, that bori bed or whatever bed, their mattress, and just look at them sleep on it. My god, there's no better feeling than it's like a good night's sleep for somebody else and you are feeling that happiness. The best.
And eventually, your life will actually revolve around that pet.
Yes,
It will be everything about him. And if he falls
Absolutely.
sick, then your mood just completely drops down. And until and unless you see him getting back again to normal.
It's such a nice feeling to live for someone else. They for us they are just a part of our life, but for them we are their entire life. So it's love that somebody cannot express, explain, tell if you've not felt that.
Absolutely. So keep doing that to the
Thank
pets, and
you,
I'm sure they
thank
must be
you.
all thanking you, and they'll continue to do that as well, right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.